Richard Davenport of Whole Hog Sports and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette is waiting. Richard, I know you've watched a lot of Arkansas baseball over the years. I wonder your vantage point and perspective. You think about Texas now being back in the league, the rise of Tennessee. Ole Miss has been also a big rivalry years. Where does LSU fall in the pecking order of rivals for Arkansas baseball, in your opinion?
I guess they would be 1B. Texas would be 1A.
That's a good way to put it.
They're not too far. They're not too far away from Texas. To be honest with you, just because Arkansas has been playing LSU for so long, and it's been a rivalry, especially last 5-10 years, and Arkansas's had a pretty good amount of success. So I would definitely say 1B, and a very close 1B.
Well, I know that there's some guys like Zach Root and Gage Wood that want a chance to pitch for the Arkansas Razorbacks again. And the only way they can do that is likely if they win these next two games against LSU. Richard, I wonder if we could go back, and I know you cover football and basketball recruiting more heavily, but Gage is an in-state kid. It was cool to kind of hear more of his backstory in the last 24 to 48 hours following his no-hitter. What do you remember about a kid from Batesville? And really, you think about Batesville lately. Batesville's gotten a lot of recognition based on him and a few other athletes from his hometown.
The best I can remember, and I do remember, him at Batesville, and I think Price Holmes and I talked about him. Price is obviously the guy that Gage really bragged about on national TV twice, having a big influence on him and his development. But I think he was throwing about 92, maybe 93 coming out of high school, and you've seen the acceleration of his, fastball from 92, 93 to 95 last year, 96, and now he's hitting up to 98. But his breaking stuff is just elite, and obviously, separates him. And evidently, his whiff rate on his fastball is off the charts. But I do vaguely remember him, but don't know a lot. But I just know Price Holmes and his ability.
Oh no! Did we lose RD?
I guess so. I'll try and get him back on the horn.
I think he's. It sounded like RD was at a camp or something. RD, I think it got cut up. I got to ask, are you in another camp this morning? It sounds like that from the background noise.
Yeah. I got the lineman camp going, and then big 7-on-7. It features Fayetteville, Bentonville West, Malvern, Rogers, about 16 high school teams, and they're out on the practice fields competing right now, and the lineman camp's going on the indoor right now, so I'm kind of going back and forth on both of those.
Let's go. I know you. How many camps do you think you frequent during the course of a summer?
It's not like it used to be. College camps are kind of slowing down a little bit. Trying to get kids to compete in camps is, especially the top tier kids, is almost it's rare. And now you still have a good amount of kids that are attending camps that are division lower division schools, or kids that will never play college football or anything like that. But the top tier kids, they're not working out as much as they used to maybe 10, 15 years ago, and so there's less camps. So last week, the week before, it was Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then you had official visits on Sunday. Today's the last camp in the 7-on-7 for the summer. So it's not as much as it used to be.
I want to come back to Gage Wood, if you don't mind. Richard Davenport with us, Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. He writes for Whole Hog Sports in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Covered. Artie, how long have you covered recruiting now? Has it been like 3 decades?
About 20 years.
Okay.
No, just about 20 years.
2 decades. I'm Yeah, I lose track sometimes. I saw this. So first thing Gage does after that no-hitter is he points to his chest where the Arkansas logo and insignia is and is screaming Arkansas into the camera. I saw former Razorbacks who were just hyped. Some guys from Arkansas, some guys that went to school here. And then he goes on Pat McAfee. There's other athletes like Patrick Mahomes. They're coming. I mean, just as a recruiting impact, RD, when you have a moment like that on the biggest stage of college baseball, what kind of waves, what kind of ripple effects does that have for recruiting for Dave Van Horn and his baseball program?
Well, I think they can point out to what I was saying earlier about the development of Gage Wood. Mm-hmm. I mean, he came to campus probably throwing in 92, 93. Now he's up to 98. Probably another year he might be touching 100. But and definitely one of the top pro prospects in the nation. And you just look at what he did historically, the third no-hitter in World Series history. But the 19 strikeouts and the domination that he showed the other day. I mean, you hear the commentators saying his performance was a once in a lifetime type performance, and I think you can. I think you can benefit from that and use that. Now, how much does it help? It definitely helps. Does it help enough to sway a kid? I don't think it's something that would just be something that would put them over the top, just by itself. But you combine that with everything else that Dave Van Horn and the program offers. I think that definitely, at least gives the kid a little bit more to think about. I could be the potential next Gage Wood. You hear kids in all sports, football, basketball, talking about past players at Arkansas and saying, well, I could potentially be the next Darren McFadden. I could be the next, Trey Flowers. It just whoever's hot that in that recent time frames, Landon Jackson. So it definitely helps.
Richard, before we let you go, I want to ask you a fun one. It's International Sushi Day. Do we like sushi? Does Richard Davenport enjoy sushi? Before we let you go,
never had sushi, never will.
I'm the same way.
I'm not a. I run away. I had an oyster one time. I think that's about as experimental as I'll ever go. But I'm just not a fish guy. But that sushi and everybody I talk to that loves it. I mean, they're obsessed with it. Sushi, so I may be missing out on it, but I'll just keep missing out on it.
No, RD, I think you're spot on. Now I will give you some pushback on the oysters. I learned about the greatness of oysters from my father, but sushi is not for me. We'll leave it there, RD. Appreciate you joining us always. Richard Davenport joins us every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. He writes for Whole Hog Sports in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, where you can always get recruiting updates from RD. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully we're talking about this baseball team in the championship series and what they did come next Wednesday, RD.
See you, buddy.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. With baseball season in full swing, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, and even live in-game betting while the games are being played. We keep the dog days of summer rolling with the largest selection of odds on everything. With updated odds on the MLB, UFC, and boxing to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline. The game starts here.